ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
Krishna Chaitanya
नित्यानंद
Prabhu
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण, वेलकम एवरीबॉडी। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। Today we are proceeding with the next verse where we left the previous class, text number 11. इष्टदेव बंधु मोर नित्यानंद राय, चैतन्य कीर्ति सुरे यहार कृपाय। I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Nityananda Rai, for he is my worshipable Lord. By his mercy, the glories of Lord Chaitanya become manifest. This is a very important point. By Nityananda Rai's mercy, the glories of Lord Chaitanya become understood by the devotee. Just like some people ask, what is the need for a guru? Can't we directly study the Shastra, which are books, and understand it? The Shastras are not ordinary books. The Shastras are Krishna himself. And the Shastras will only reveal themselves to us to the degree Krishna is pleased with us. And to please Krishna, Krishna himself says what we should do. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya, he says. Submissively surrender to your guru, and by his instruction, follow his instructions, hear from him, submissively ask questions, and in this way, when we do these three things, pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya, to your guru, then Krishna reveals himself through the sacred scriptures. Otherwise, the scriptures cannot be understood merely by scholarly abilities or by knowledge of Sanskrit or anything like that. So that is why it is said, when one takes shelter of Lord Nityananda, then one can understand Lord Chaitanya. That is said here. See? Ishtadeva Vando Mora Nityananda Rai, Chaitanya Kirti Sure Yahara Kripai. Commentary. After first offering respects to the Vaishnavas, the author offers obeisances to his own spiritual master and then begins to describe the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The mercy of Lord Nityananda, the author's spiritual master, is the main qualification in his endeavor. It is to be remembered that Swayam Prakash, Sri Nityananda Baladev, who is non-different from Swayam Rupa, Sri Gaura Krishna, is the source of the following Vishnu Tattvas: Moola Sankarshan, Mahasankarshan, the three Purushavataras, Karnadaksha Vishnu, Garbhadaksha Vishnu, and Shirudaksha Vishnu, as well as 1,000-headed Ananta Shesha. So, Nityananda Baladev is called as a Swayam Rupa. Actually, Nityananda is called as Swayam Prakasha, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called as Swayam Rupa. So, here one very important detail is mentioned here. If you see the expansion of the personalities from Krishna, Krishna is Swayam Rupa, and from him comes Swayam Prakash Balaram. From Balaram, there are four expansions called Chaturvyuha: Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And that Sankarshan is called Moola Sankarshan. And then from that Moola Sankarshan expands Narayan. And from Narayan expands the second Chaturvyuha called as Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And the second Sankarshan is called Mahasankarshan. And from that Mahasankarshan comes Mahavishnu. And then that Mahavishnu creates millions of universes from the pores of his body. Yaschaikanishvasita kalamathavalambya Jivanti loma bilaja jagadandanata. You heard that verse, isn't it? Vishnor mahansayihayasya kala vishesho govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. That Mahavishnu is called as Amshamsha of Krishna. Why? Because from Krishna comes Balaram, Balaram is Mula Sankarshan, then Narayan, then Mahasankarshan, then comes Mahavishnu. And then Mahavishnu expands all the universes, and then it enters into each universe as Garbhodaksha, Vishnu, and all that, isn't it? So that is what is mentioned here. Nityananda Balaram is a source of Mula Sankarshan. That point is mentioned here in this purport. Sahasravadana Vando Prabhu Balarama Yahara Sahasramukhe Krishna Yashodhama. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the thousand-headed Lord Balarama. His thousands of mouths are the abode of Lord Krishna's transcendental glories. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Lord glorifies Balaram before Yogamaya as follows. He will be called Rama because of his ability to please all the inhabitants of Gokula. And he will be known as Balabhadra because of his extensive physical strength. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, 5th chapter, it is said that Lord Vishnu is but a part of a plenary portion of Lord Nityananda, who is the source of all incarnations. That same Vishnu, in the form of Lord Shesha, holds the planets upon his heads, although he does not know where they are, because they are insignificant for him, for he cannot feel their existence upon his heads. That Ananta Shesha is the devotee incarnation of Godhead. He knows nothing but service to Lord Krishna. With his thousands of mouths, he sings the glories of Lord Krishna. But although he always sings in that way, he does not find an end to the qualities of the Lord. The four Kumaras hear Srimad Bhagavatam from his lips, and they in turn repeat it in the transcendental bliss of love of Godhead. The word Yashodhama means storehouse of all transcendental qualities and glories. So here the two special things about Lord Ananta Shesha is mentioned. One is when Mahavishnu creates millions of universes, when they come and rest in the hood of Ananta Shesha, like jewels on the hoods of Ananta Shesh, Ananta Shesh doesn't feel any kind of burden in holding them. Like for example, I am sitting in a chair. The chair is sitting on the floor, and this floor is in a building where the whole building weight is exerted on the earth. If you go like that, then how is the earth sustained, or how are all the other planets sustained? So there is something called as magnetic pull, which the scientists say that it's called as G m1 m2 by r square. There's a magnetic pull which keeps all the planets in their respective positions. And outside this Brahmanda, who is keeping the whole Brahmanda in its position? If you ask this question, the answer is Lord Sankarshana is the source of this magnetic pull. And he is able to hold all the universes in the... So he is called as the shelter of shelters. So we are all taking different shelters. And the ultimate shelter, who is actually resting all the universes on his roots, is the Ananta Shesha. That is one of the glories. Another glory that he said is, he has thousands of hoods with which he glorifies the Supreme Lord, and he never comes to an end. And Antam Gunanam Agunasya Jagmur Yogeshwaraye Bhavapadma Mukhya. There is a verse, the Bhagavatam, it says, there is no end to the glories of the Lord. So one boy was asking a question, if there is so much glory of the Lord with 1,000 mouths, Ananta Shesha is not able to glorify. I think better we stop glorifying because we can't glorify, he said. No, that is a wrong understanding. Everybody should glorify to the best of their ability. One small sparrow can fly to some height, and a crow can fly a little higher. And there are other birds like cranes, they can fly higher. An eagle, they can fly very high. One can fly very high. So every bird can fly to different heights, isn't it? In the same manner, we all should glorify to the best of our ability. So by glorifying, we become purified. So in this way, Lord Ananta Shesha's glory of holding the Brahmandas on his hoods, as well as glorifying the Supreme Lord that is mentioned here. Yeah. Thousands of mouths sings the glories of Lord Krishna. It is to be understood that Swayam Prakash, Sri Nityananda Baladev, who appears in a two-armed human-like form, holding a plough, increases the ecstasy of Krishna Prema by constantly engaging in the service of Sri Gaura Krishna in the mood of a devotee. So although he is Krishna's expansion, once Prabhupada asked the devotees, what is the difference between Krishna and Balaram? And then Prabhupada said, Krishna and Balaram, there is only one difference. Krishna is bluish black and Balaram is white. That's all. There's no other difference, he said. Both are Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it's true, of course. Another difference is Balaram, although he's expansion of Krishna, he always acts in the mood of a servant of Krishna. He expands his paraphernalia of the spiritual world. I told you about this before. Sandhini and Samvit Shaktis, isn't it? He becomes a servant of Krishna. He becomes a friend of Krishna. He becomes a parent of Krishna in the sense that he puts his hands on the shoulder of Krishna. You have seen that in Vrindavan. Balaram puts his hand on the shoulder of Krishna. Why? Because Mother Yashoda is telling, hey Balaram, look at this Krishna. He is so soft-bodied, yet he is very dashing. I found that he and the other cowherd boys are gliding down the Govardhan hill. I found some scratch in their bodies, in the body of Krishna. She's asking the cowherd boys. This is there in the Krishna Bhavanamritam by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. She's asking cowherd boys, hey, you cowherd boys, what kind of dangerous games are you playing? You are gliding down the Govardhan hill. And all the cowherd boys are looking at each other. Should we say yes or no? If we say yes, Mother Yashoda may not allow Krishna to come with us to forest. And if we say no, it will be a lie. So they are wondering what to say. So the cowherd boys told Yashoda, okay, mother, we will be careful. We will surely not play when elders are watching us. We will not play such games, they were saying. Which means when elders are not watching, we will come gliding down the Govardhan. So, in this way, Yashoda told Balaram, take care of Krishna. Let him not play dangerous games. Let the cow not put the foot on Krishna's thighs. Let the monkey not scratch Krishna's body. Let Krishna not fall into any kunds in Vrindavan, ponds in Vrindavan. She was very worried because sometimes Krishna would open the mouth of a monkey and count the number of teeth. So she said, very dangerous. This fellow doesn't know what is the danger. So Yashoda was very much anxiety. At that time, Balaram put his hand on Krishna's shoulder and said, Maya, why do you worry? I am going with him. I will take care. He can't do any naughty activities. Like that, Balaram is giving assurance. So, in this way, Balaram plays a parental role. And then when Balaram wants to assist Krishna in the Madhurya role, he becomes Ananga Manjari, a gopi, because only gopis can enter into Radha Krishna Leela. Even Narada becomes Naradi Gopi. Then after taking a dip in the Kusum Sarovar, and then he takes part in the pastimes of Radha Krishna Leela and everything, then comes back, takes a dip and again becomes Narada and then writes the Narada Bhakti Sutra. So, Ananga Manjari is a form of Balaram only, expansion of Balaram, who is taking part in this way he is taking part in all the Leelas, you see, of Krishna. Shri Ananta Shesh, the plenary portion of Lord Baladev, who holds all the universes by his hoods, his matchless service of always glorifying the qualities of Shri Gaura, his worship of the Lord is being described here. Shri Ananta Dev constantly recites Srimad Bhagavatam to the great Brahmana sages, headed by the four Kumaras. He is the Lord and Guru of the author, who is the incarnation of Vyasadeva, for describing the pastimes of Sri Gaura Krishna. See, this is one of the paramparas, isn't it? Lord Anantashesh is giving to Kumaras, and Kumaras are giving to Sankhya Muni, and then it's coming down. That's one of the paramparas. In this way, Lord Anantashesh makes the Kumaras play the lead role as parampara acharyas. He is the Lord and Guru of the author. Author means Vrindavan Thakur, who is the incarnation of Vyasadeva for describing the pastimes of Sri Gaura Krishna. The 1,000-headed Lord Anantadeva's recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam which is full of glories of Lord Krishna, is described in Chitraketu's prayers to Lord Sankarshan in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, as follows. O unconquerable one, when you spoke about Bhagavata Dharma, which is the uncontaminated religious system for achieving the shelter of your lotus feet, that was your victory. Persons who have no material desires like the Kumaras, who are self-satisfied sages, worship you to be liberated from mental contamination. In other words, they accept the process of Bhagavata Dharma to achieve shelter at your lotus feet. My dear Lord, one's occupational duty is instructed in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita according to your point of view, which never deviates from the highest goal of life. Those who follow their occupational duties under your supervision, being equal to all living entities, moving and non-moving, and not considering high and low, are called Aryans. Such Aryans worship you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Another meaning of Krishna Yashodham is Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the treasure house of Lord Krishna's transcendental glories. So in this way, here he is saying how not only the general glories of Lord Sankrishna speaks, he specifically speaks Srimad Bhagavatam, the four Kumaras, and then the Kumaras are further handing over in the Guru Parampara. In this way, in the Bhagavatam itself, there's a glorification given. The praise to Lord Sankarshan here. Chitraketu's praise is a very famous section of the 6th canto, Chitraketu section. So, in fact, even Lord Shiva offers a similar prayer to Lord Sankarshana, because Shiva is whose devotee? Some people will tell you Shiva is Krishna's devotee because he comes to meet baby Krishna. I will show you that picture. Shiva coming to meet baby Krishna. So this is a pastime. I'll just share it. Just 1 minute. See here, Shiva is coming to meet Krishna. Of course, when Shiva came like this with playing his damaru and dam, at that time Yashoda was afraid to bring Krishna outside at that time. But later on, she saw that, yeah, you can see this picture, you see. Even Krishna was attracted to Shiva and Shiva was attracted to Krishna. So in this way, when Mother Yashoda saw this, she was amazed. Oh, I thought my child will be afraid of this Baba, and he is not afraid. Rather, he is enjoying seeing him. So like that, she thought, she was amazed. So in this way, somebody may tell you that, Shiva is Krishna's devotee because he came to meet Krishna when Krishna appeared. Somebody may say, oh, Shiva is Ram's devotee because Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulya. We say, no? So, but is actually Ram devotee or Krishna devotee? The truth is, Shiva is Sankarshan's devotee. He's a devotee of Adishesha. Why? Because Shiva is deeply inspired by Lakshman's propensity to serve Ram, or Adishesha's propensity to serve Vishnu. Shiva is hankering, when will the time come I also can serve the Lord? Therefore, Shiva expands his Hanuman. And like we have Panchamukhi Shiva and we have Panchamukhi Hanuman. So Shiva expands his Panchamukhi Hanuman to serve Lord Ram. So he of course is a devotee of Ram, but he wants to be devotee of Ram through Lakshman. Or he wants to be devotee of Narayana through Adishesha. That's the mood. Therefore, Shiva has got a snake around his neck. Why? Because whenever he looks at the snake, he remembers his master Sankarshan or Adishesh. That is like for Uddipan he keeps. Just like sometimes you all carry altar in your pocket, isn't it? Lord's altar, you take the altar and look at the altar and you chant. Like that Shiva carries a snake. Can you imagine you can carry a snake around your neck to remember Lord Adishesha? Only somebody can, like Shiva can do that. So in this way, Shiva is, there's a sloka also in the Bhagavatam, which Shiva recites, remembering Sankarshan. Maharatna tuyena mahapriyastane Yashoratna Bhandara Shri Anantavadane. Lord Ananta's mouths are the storehouse of the gem-like glories of Lord Krishna, for valuable jewels are kept in a most appropriate place. What a beautiful analogy, isn't it? So, just like when you all keep a gold or silver or anything, you keep in a very nice box, isn't it? With a velvet box where you keep the gold ring or gold earring or whatever, nose ring or whatever. So like that, Ananta Shesha's mouth is compared to the jewel box in which Krishna's glories are kept. So from here we will continue tomorrow. This is verse number 13. So if you are living at 13 verse number, we'll end it tomorrow. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, especially today is that Ananta Shesh ki.